Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another historical Humans Reacts. And this one's kind of an interesting one of a lot of different aspects of our lives combined because we talk a lot here about Native Americans and indigenous rights here in the United States. And Cullum and myself both have Irish heritage and lineage. And actually, when this video goes live, I will be on the Emerald Isle. So, quite the interesting connection and a great thing to talk about where a Native American tribe unveils a sculpture to honor their Irish connection. And as you see here, it's an 8 foot tall eternal heart sculpture that was created by a Choctaw member, Samuel Stitt, and it's unveiled at the Choctaw Capitol.
Yep. Yeah, the Choctaw Capitol grounds are located in Oklahoma, and this monument is meant to demonstrate the connection between the Choctaw and the Irish, which goes all the way back to 1847 with the Trail of Tears, during which time, as the Choctaw were being forcibly migrated at gunpoint, they got together and donated $170 to the county of Cork to help the Irish with the potato famine that was literally starving them to death due to what really is just British neglect.
And while $170 may not sound like a lot, in 1847, that gift is worth tens of thousands of dollars in terms of modern um, purchasing power. I could even look up inflation calculator.
And inflation. Yep.
Yay.
Yep. Now, the statue here by Samuel Stitt, it was a joint commission between the Chata Foundation and the Irish government. It is it has been erected facing the direction of Ireland from the Choctaw Capitol grounds in Oklahoma, and it has a separate companion piece facing back at it in County Cork. Sort of a very figurative and literal reminder of the connection between these two places and these two peoples. And that's the part I like most, is that it's not just the Choctaw erecting a monument to this act of solidarity and generosity, but that the Irish did the exact same thing. That it's that speaks to true unity to me. It is it is a very heartwarming statement. Yeah, that's the word. English is hard, guys.
Yeah, which the calculators I was looking at gives the $170 value as about 6,500, which doesn't seem like a lot, but again, went a very far way. And the Irish actually ended up turning around and giving back to the Choctaw Nation in their own kind of way, which is kind of interesting, personally, that I really think is kind of cool. Where in 2020, during the COVID-19 pandemic, the Irish people return their support, return their honor by providing €2 million in aid to Native Americans affected by the crisis to buy masks, defibrillators, ventilators, and this is just a continuation of this connection because even in 2018, the former Taoiseach, which is the Irish Prime Minister, Leo Varadkar, announced a scholarship for Choctaw people to study in Ireland.
Yeah, yeah. The connection exists on multiple levels through multiple layers of history, which is why we are talking about it on this channel, because the statue is today, and yet it speaks to what would now be almost 200 years of human history.
Yeah, and it's kind of an interesting connection, but it's not an unusual one. You do tend to see this happen in a lot of places where previously colonized nations or previously abused nations really find a similarity, that connection that can bind and unite them. And both of these countries have, well, nations, I should say, since we could
Yeah,
have the
both,
debate
yeah,
about tribal
nations.
nations, but
Yeah.
these nations have gone through great tragedies, and it's just an act of solidarity together and generosity. And it just goes on to further show this eternal bond that they have. And the interesting thing in my mind too is there's also a monument in Cork, Ireland, in Middleton, called the Kindred Spirits sculpture, which is a bunch of feathers traditionally used in Choctaw ceremonies. So it's just really kind of cool, and this was inspired after visiting the statue in Ireland. So it's kind of a yet another beautiful return to this homage. They're returning the favor of having this sculpture. And
one yeah. Okay.
oh no, go
Just one
on.
thing too with this sculpture in County Cork and it inspiring the now companion piece on in Oklahoma is that apparently this the Choctaw have a habit of often going to Ireland specifically to see this monument. This statue, the Kindred Spirit statue, the other half of what is now outside their capital, which that's lasting because that's grassroots level of care and consideration. That's true cultural memory. Sorry, I
Yeah.
didn't mean to run over you there.
No, it's fine. But it's really cool, and they're kind of hoping that this becomes a pilgrimage site that a lot of people will go to, similar to how a lot of Choctaw members now will go to Ireland to see kindred spirits. And the Choctaw Nation is one of the largest in the United States. It's the third largest Native American tribe left, um, with about 230,000 members. So it's really, I think it's kind of sweet. It's bittersweet in a lot of ways because one of the reasons they were able to have this connection and make these bonds is through tragedy and through oppression, but it really shows that this pressure can turn even coal into diamonds, you know?
They were both suffering in was arguably one of the most extreme acts of oppression in each other's histories at the same time. And in that, they in all that darkness, they somehow found each other, and they've been going hand in hand ever since.
I think it's also just kind of important to highlight. You see people struggling every day. It doesn't take much to just go out of your way to be a good person. And I think this really highlights that. And I think that's something that honestly has gone astray in the past 160 years is that level of compassion is not as prevalent as it once was. And I really like to see that this is being fostered and that they're continuing to strengthen that bond and that they're returning these connections. I mean, the Celtic knot is one of the most like stereotypically Irish things. So to see it entwined with the eternal heart, that's a beautiful homage in my opinion. But anyways, I think that's a great point for us to wrap up on this episode here. Kind of a feel good story. We talked about a lot of negatives, so here's a positive. I don't know if I'll make my way out to the other Kindred Spirits monument while I'm out on the Emerald Isle, but I'm gonna have to throw it on my list, and we'll see. But thank you guys for watching, and we will see you guys in the next video, which will actually be next week. There will not be a Reacts video this Tuesday, unfortunately. Let us know how upset you are down below, and we'll see you.